Currently turning 11:25 right now, and documenting what is, again, establishing everyone that is engaging in terrorism with the entity that you see pacing around, group stalking in helicopter, and the terrorist demonic behavioral pattern, the terroristic behavior, which is designed to torment and threaten and target, all right, not only based on the fact that you are who you are, but also based on your enforcement of your rights. And so in America, there is a procedure whereby you can prosecute and you can punish for engaging in such lawlessness, where that criminal activity is literally occurring by the hands of the government. The government is the criminal. It is public corruption, and I'm exposing it while I'm in the workplace, subject to the pattern of conduct. And the reason why I'm picking this time, first of all, I want you to see the light source that is directly over me while I'm facing, again, the same hillside. I'm facing east, in other words. And so that means that my back is to the direction of where the Vaughn's grocery store is. And I took a picture of the direction where Alvarado Gardens was when I was at the Vaughn's grocery store. And down here in this direction, facing toward what would be, again, Alvarado Street, which is, this is the back of the property where I'm standing here. This location, driving out onto the property of what is Alvarado Street. This is where you have to drive off, and it's an entirely distinct location, in other words, while I'm showing you the maintenance of the light source, as I am standing at the entrance of the laundry room, where smart janitorials pacing all around with brooms, which is audible activity, a bunch of demons that are group stalking, just wearing uniforms. That's exactly what Speaker Companies is, okay? And these demons that wear uniforms identifying law enforcement agencies, that's exactly what they are. They have access to helicopters. That's what federal prosecution is going to remedy. Okay, so they're going to be far removed from weapons, removed from armored vehicles, removed from helicopters, where they're engaging in terrorism based on their demented mind state, disqualifying them, precluding them from law enforcement, access to any weapon, and imposing any other threat to American society, not just to themselves and to the people whom they are in any circumstance connected to. That's the reality of this demon possession, and it is exhibited through their criminal activity. Okay, and so this is also a public safety concern, as I'm showing you the reality of the affects of demon possession. And while that condition will intensify, it will grow in aggression and hostility, taking over what are people that will feel less and less. They will regard human beings less and less. They will violate more and more, which is exactly in conformity to the pattern of conduct, the criminal activity. As I document, the helicopter activity picks up. As I expose and enforce my rights, which is lawful and also natural, okay, reasonably expected, encouraged, the demonic behavior, the criminal activity increases. This is in conformity to the P.O.C. The spiritual truth is that the demon possessed, they will grow in their demented condition. And like I said before, these will be the people that are, and it's not regarding any sort of police, whether this demon is currently wearing a police badge or not, calling themselves what they're not. You're not a police officer. You are not a sheriff's deputy. You are not a chief of police. You're Satan. You're nothing other than a hollowed out vessel that Satan is using, and you're waiting for your exposure and removal. Okay, Satan is masquerading. Satan is not law enforcement. Satan is not legitimate. Satan doesn't have any authority. Satan is masquerading as though it has authority, which is everything that Satan wants. Satan doesn't have it, and Satan cannot act like it has it while using a demon-possessed group stalker that's masquerading as a law enforcement agency. Okay, so all of Satan's masks are being ripped off, and you're understanding the threat to the American public while Satan is using a population and a government to engage in its criminal conduct. In addition to that, the entity is engaging in what is maintaining this light source over the Vaughn's grocery store. I'm showing you at 11:24 in the morning. I'm showing you the fake sun that's over me while I am at the property of Alvarado Gardens, which is in an entirely distinct location. My back is toward the direction where Vaughn's grocery store is. Okay, but I'm going to remind you about who's going to federal prison, and it includes the entire work schedule. The work schedule is going to be something that's going to be produced with regard to, and the surveillance cameras. This is how you're using this age that we're in. Cameras everywhere, traffic cameras. There's a benefit to that, because you're going to flip this era that we're in, and you're going to inflict justice. Okay, and at this level, yes, justice is an infliction. So the entity is engaging what is maintaining this unnatural environment and on surveillance cameras, which is directly probative to criminal activity on the surveillance cameras and in relevant position, not only surveillance cameras, but traffic cameras. Remember, it's not just Vaughn's. It's on the traffic cameras. It's on the surveillance cameras of Vaughn's grocery store. I just named them because they're readily identifiable. I'm going there as a patron, and guess what? I can't go shop for groceries and food without the being terrorized, without my life being threatened, okay, without my information, my privacy being violated. And you go to federal prison for that. Okay, you don't want Osama bin Laden hunting you down at the grocery store. Neither do I when I go to the grocery store. Okay, the LAPD are not distinct from that. The people of the state are not distinct from that. And so I'm going to remind you about what I was subject to yesterday at the same time, where today I'm showing you the crime scene. And that's the crime scene that I'm surrounded by while the demons are stalking. That is Dominic Choi's LAPD. And this is the grounds whereby you are disbanding and permanently removing terrorist organizations that are deceptively appearing to the public as law enforcement agencies. And so this is the pattern of conduct that is, again, I'm going to show you the light source that's in an entirely distinct, it's not even, first of all, it's not over any Vaughn's, it's over me, directly over me. That is within a pattern of conduct. It is outside of what is naturally possible. It's not possible, logical, feasible. It's speaking to the pattern of conduct. And not only am I showing that, you can see it through the windshield of a vehicle parked on Alvarado Gardens. The property of Alvarado Gardens is in an entirely distinct location. We're east of where Vaughn's is. And the rear windshield of this vehicle, it's directly juxtaposed to the front windshield of a demon crossing path at the Vaughn's parking lot. The two are impossible to occur at the same time. And under no circumstances are either one of these crime scenes naturally capable of occurring. Okay, there's a whole other body of evidence which is establishing the so-called natural environment over me, not just at that time, but for the duration of the day. In addition, you already know that this isn't the natural environment because this sun is not only present at this property at this time, but it's still here in the evening, which is what I documented last night. Let's remember the sunset, where the entity is maintaining a fake sun. This is through my windows. I live at the same property at 7:33 in the morning. The sun is not going to be over Alvarado Gardens like it is now, and still in a position where it is so powerful, it's piercing through what are closed blinds. Okay, while it also, again, the entity with, oh, it's not actually up close, it just looks like it's that close to you. Okay, yes it is. Let me be clear. The fake sun, first of all, is not moving and engaging in what is an unintelligent and unreal, illogical misrepresentation of the natural environment. If it's going somewhere, like this is not representing, this is relying, let me be clear, Satan is relying on your ignorance. Relying on your ignorance, and you're just absolute not paying attention. That's what this relies on, because this is betting on you being a total ignoramus. Okay, this is non-movement of the sun. In addition to that, even in its deceptive appearance, suggesting that, oh, it's going somewhere, that's why the color changed, that's why it looks smaller. But yet I'm still looking at it 12 hours later. And not only that, when the blinds are closed, it's so far away, but yet it's piercing through, magnified size of light through the closed blinds, and I'm literally looking at it through the closed blinds. This is the deception of Satan, and you witness it, the presence of Satan, the deceptive character of Satan through the unnatural environment. And it is the same when you're looking at demons wearing Speaker Company's t-shirts, looking to the left while they are hostile because they know that I captured their mug, zoomed in on, while I'm showing and pointing out every time that the LAPD engages in an act of terrorism, communicating a threat in the workplace, engaging in group stalking in helicopters. They know exactly all about it. And so that demon, going by the name of Carlo Lopez, is group stalking in the workplace, and he's going to federal prison, while he's also aware of the fact that I documented him. And this is what a mentally deranged person is somehow getting some sort of satiation, which is speaking to the fact that you are mentally deranged, because you're going to federal prison for it. So what type of hollow victory are you actually celebrating? There is no victory there. In addition, the whole strip down of this system is fully confirmed again. Okay, there is no sun that would still be here. Nonetheless, let's remember, 11:24 is why I'm starting, well, 11:25, a negligible difference. I'm at the same location. The fake sun is still here in the same exact position. And it's in a position, it is entirely opposite of where I'm at yesterday. And so let's look at that video. Where,
all right, license 7U.
Like you see today, The LAPD that is stalking in helicopters and heavily stalking, more so as I document the people of the state, engaging in what is pacing.
We have demonic pacing by the state and helicopter. And at this volume, at this distance, amplifying helicopter activity in my office. So this is, again, the pattern of conduct, the elements of monitoring. It's also demonic activity to the direction that I'm facing.
This is the same criminal conduct that's occurring at a different location. A facilitating venue is what it's referred to as. The criminal system doesn't change. The criminal system is not different. The criminal system has not taken a pause because I went to a different address. You're understanding what is a statewide system. And who are the agents of the government? Meaning you are in the shoes of the government. The malice whereby the people of the state, the constituents of the state, want to appear as though they're free citizens and want you to think that you're a free citizen, and want to appear as though they're in a substantially similar position as you. This is the deception of and the purpose that the United States is currently posing in the world. All right, there's a reason for that, but it is absurd when you are getting down into the details where you're understanding the terrorism that I, as an American citizen, and I do vouch that I am an American citizen. It doesn't make the laws that the government is disregarding invalid. Clearly, you're going to witness how valid they are. A lot of people are going to federal prison and going to lose their reputation, lose everything that they own. It's not just going to reach them, it's going to reach who they're connected to. You're talking about justice to the furthest extent of the law and the creation of laws that will provide justice as it is necessary based on the criminal act that the government engages in. So you're talking about what is the pattern of conduct as I'm showing you through a specific environment, and it goes anywhere that I go. That's demonic. Okay, and this deception is serving what Satan's agenda is during this time in the world, and I'm exposing it. And this is by the grace of God, by the way, that I am living and able to speak as a testimony to the goodness of God, to the omnipotence of God, the omniscience of God, the all-knowing God who can never be mocked, who can never be imitated. Hence a fake sun and engineered light. And demons wanting to act like they're law enforcement, wanting authority that they do not have. And they're going to witness their own exposure and face the reality of the absence of any genuine authority when they're prosecuted in federal court. Okay? Satan does not have any authority in the spirit over those who know the Lord Jesus. And you do not have any authority in the natural while you're engaging in what is demonic activity for purposes of what Satan would like you to do against a child of God. It will not work in any dimension. Okay, and so you're witnessing the federal prosecution of the people of the state and the state of California. So this is the light source that's over me while I'm at Vaughn's. And I will show you what the entity is doing. The same thing at 11:07 where the entity is pacing around in helicopters because they're mad because I'm documenting them. And only a psychopath engages in that conduct. This is the light source that's 11:24. This is the position of it while I walk around to the laundry room on the opposite side of this leasing office. There it is directly over the top of my head. That is moving as I move, walking around the building, right back to my office. That's where the fake sun is, okay? No question about where it's at. When I go into the laundry room, let me show you the presence of the light source as I go into the laundry room so that you can see it through while I'm inside of the laundry room, and you can still see the light source. You can see it while I'm showing you the direction. There's no movement. There's no ability for me to see the sun through the rear windshield of a vehicle parked at Alvarado Gardens, and my location at an entirely different location yesterday in a position where the sun is never going to be seen through any vehicle windshield, let alone the rear windshield. There are opposing directions, okay? So this is in every regard impossible, and I want you to look at this while we're going to look at this video.
F444 is going to federal prison. LAPD thinking that they're protecting this third party, this demon, this terrorist. She's going to federal prison, P.O.C.
And I want you to see what terrorism looks like in the United States. This demon that is going to pick up her organic vegetables and driving a Prius in order to do good in the environment that's entirely demonic. It's not even a genuine focus that she has going to the grocery store. She's arriving to maintain presence. Her whole existence is fake. Her whole existence, her whole purpose is to engage in targeting another, while she is out on the outward, on the superficial veneer that Satan presents, while she's wearing her shorts and her sunglasses in LA, and she's going in with her helping the environment with her recyclable bag, maintaining an appearance that's supposedly noble, as others would tell you, and all of that is irrelevant. You're looking at a demon-possessed group stalker who is targeting another and is aware of the fact that she's being documented, which is the simultaneity of conduct of the demons that are the LAPD flying over my head in this parking lot where the fake sun is also over me. This is stripping this whole superficial veneer, this demonic veil that is hiding the reality of what's going on with people and what's going on in the spiritual realm. What demonic activity looks like, what a demon-possessed person looks like, how they behave. And it's not different than somebody that is disheveled. And I'm not even saying that this third party looks all together, okay? But I'm going to digress on that. But I'm stating you make a distinction in your mind between somebody that's driving a Lexus and carrying a poodle in their hand, all right, and going to drive to their mansion that's on a hill somewhere in the Hollywood Hills. And they are working somewhere at some studio making big money with producers. This is their lifestyle, and they're somehow different than a disheveled homeless person with matted hair and a pungent odor, and they have the same spiritual condition, and they're group stalking me together. Okay? They're group stalking together with the same corrupt law enforcement agency. One that's black would claim Black Lives Matter. Okay, and even she might even join in on that chorus talking about Black Lives Matter, but not my life as a black woman. While they're acting with a corrupt law enforcement agency, when there's so much love out here, there is no love when you're group stalking. Okay, so I just want to, there's so many mantras out here that are superficial. This terrorism that I documented is the pattern of conduct. She is engaging in what Alvarado Gardens residents are engaging in 24 hours a day. She's going to federal prison because she's acting in sync with the terrorist organization. You want to hold hands with Osama bin Laden, you and Osama are going down. Okay? It's the same analogy with regard to the terrorist organizations. She's going to federal prison. All right. She's also acting with impunity and malice because they are aware of the fact that I'm capturing images of her and this demon that is present to engage in criminal conduct, contrary to what the malicious appearance is that she's going shopping at the grocery store, which is a crime scene. Vaughn's Grocery is a crime scene where there is no sun over Alvarado Gardens. That's the direction of Alvarado Gardens. That's where I'm pointing the camera at. The same time, 11:22. So let's look at it 2 minutes later. It's not going anywhere. 11:24, as I am facing the direction of the Vaughn's grocery store where there is not possibly any sun. Okay, this is what I'm capturing. 11:24. This is when this video. There's no sun over Alvarado Gardens. Yesterday, it's directly over the top of my head, which is the pattern of conduct, not the natural environment. And the entity that is group stalking is also engaged in federal stalking. All right, so let me show this.
It's a fake sun. It's not.
This is the light source that's over the top of my head, and that's the pattern of conduct. Here it is at the top of my head. Same time, two different locations. Pattern of conduct, not the natural environment, a scientific impossibility. And there's no question about where it's at. It's through the rear windshield of a vehicle parked right here in front of my office. And the entity is maintaining the light source in an entirely, in a manner where it is entirely impossible for that to naturally be the case. And in that environment, which is demonic, you have stalking by the government, harassment, threatening conduct, threatening my life, threatening my safety, threatening my rights to enforce against this government that's engaging in it, harassing me while keeping me under surveillance, knowing exactly what I'm preparing to take a picture of and what I took a picture of while you fly over my car as I take pictures of it. Okay, so this is the entity that's engaging in this criminal conduct, and let's look at the light source through the windshields of the vehicles parked at this property, which is a scientific impossibility. Oh, there it is right there. While the demon wants to appear as though she's doing something normal in LA with her recyclable bag, driving her Prius for the good of the natural environment, and she's engaging in terrorism just on her way to Vaughn's and back home, or to her yoga class, or whatever it is that she does for the rest of her day. Oh, she's going to federal prison, and this is shattering this illusion that's occurring in America. This is the lights are seen through the front windshield and the direction of this vehicle, and this is going to be juxtaposed with the rear windshield at Alvarado Gardens. It is impossible that this is naturally the case. This is revealing the demon possession of those that are group stalking in helicopters. So let's look at that again, the evidence that the entity is providing itself to the world.
Colonel Lopez crossing path. You have demonic pacing by the state and helicopter. And at this volume,
and the demon.
All right, license 7UEF444 is going to federal prison. LAPD thinking that they're protecting this third party, this demon, this terrorist. She's going to federal prison. P.O.C. She's going straight to federal prison. Flying right over me because she knows that she's being documented while she's engaging in what is terrorism in the U.S.
One more time. Let's get a 7.
And that license
7UEF.
She's going.
7 and believe me, I understand proper syntax and grammar and whatnot. I love it. I cherish it. I love English and political science and law. I speak in those terms because I'm emphasizing she's going straight to federal prison. Okay? She went to the grocery store, and that quickly she caught a federal case, a serious one. And she's going to federal prison. Okay? So this is the entity that's group stalking with LAPD.
This third party, this demon, this terrorist.
And that license is 7UEF 444.
She's going to federal prison. P.O.C. She's going straight to federal prison. Flying right.
And that's the same entity, and these are a demon-possessed terrorist organization as opposed to a professional, civilized, dignified, authoritative law enforcement agency that is serving and protecting. Okay? They are serving Satan and not protecting anyone. Not protecting their own interests. They're not protecting the interests of the people of the state. They're incriminating them. This is the implosion of this whole demonic enterprise, which is criminal activity. It's public exposure of what is public corruption. So this is where Carlo Lopez license. Let's get this demon's license plate. This is the criminal conduct that he's engaging in while he knows that he's being documented, and only a demented psychopath that's delusional about your future engages in group stalking and instead of literally aborting mission. Okay, this is not going according to plan. That's what a normal person would do. That's what a repentant person would do. That's what a person with any iota of common sense would do, because you're talking about serious time in federal prison. Not 3 days. You're going for a long time, okay? You intend to take the life of an American citizen that you're group stalking with the state. You intend to discard that American citizen. That's why you engage in the conspiracy of federal group stalking and monitoring for no lawful purpose. It is very much tantamount to conspiring to murder someone, to kidnap them permanently. You put them in a facility, you put them in jail, you make up the information about why they're there, you create that paper trail. That's what the courts and that's what these mental facilities are doing. You conspire to discard an American citizen, and you continue to your own demise at this point. You will not avoid federal prison, and you're going for a long time. Justice requires it. So this is what 9FCX513 Carlo Lopez is participating in. And smart janitorial while this fake son is seen through the rear windshield, license 8HKA162, beating on the office while those demons are aware of what I'm documenting. And those demons are equally unapologetic, unrepentant, ceasing to engage in that criminal pattern of conduct, which is also facilitation, a whole independent basis, in addition to federal stalking, a whole independent basis for federal prison. Their systematic engagement in the P.O.C. is their basis for going to federal prison. And I'm referencing smart janitorial, you are not in operation of any lawful business. You're not doing anything within the bounds of the law. You are exercising no privacy rights while you're present on behalf of the state, group stalking. Okay, these are demons that are wearing uniform shirts, engaging in activity creation and pacing around an engineered light. Okay, and exhibiting a threat on an ongoing basis while they continuously arrive every week. To engage in, as I've documented, every week, every day that they're here, stalking by helicopters, threatening my life systematically. You want to hold hands with Osama bin Laden in terrorizing and discarding, conspiring to discard of American citizens, you're going to federal prison for that. And contrary to what Satan planned to do, all of those engaging in this criminal system, which is terrorism, it is no small matter. Their liberty is going to be taken. Contrary to what was the initial plan, okay? And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And by the way, this entity lost a long time ago. There's a whole body of evidence just sitting. It's just sitting. It's already on the record. And Satan still sought to engage in this, which is speaking to impunity and malice. You're not just going to federal prison for a couple months. You're going for a very long time. All right, so this is the threat to my life that I remain subject to, and this is exactly what I'm documenting while I am engaging in what is documentation. I'm sorry, what's going on? And also, this is not only is she going to federal prison, as you can see, the light source is over the whole venue. You can see through the windshield while this demon is crossing path. All right, and the light source is over Vaughn's, where I am located on this day yesterday, and in addition to that, the Vaughn's is located at, let's just go ahead and get that really quick. Vaughn's, Alvarado, 1342 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, California. This is in an entirely distinct location from what would be Alvarado Gardens. And so the sun is not maintaining a zenith over me here. And also at the same time, Yeah, here you go. We're in two distinct locations. So it is 5 minutes away. You're talking about as far as the sun, that's not maintaining a zenith. And at any point, by the way, I was also at Vaughn's in the afternoon. Recall June 29, 2024. Vaughn's is already surrounded. You're surrounded. And what the entity continues to do, Vaughn's remains a part of it. You are surrounded. And they're also surrounded by surveillance cameras. And everybody inside of that Vaughn's grocery store, as I have documented terrorism, as I'm subject to it, and they're violating my privacy information, my credit card information, what I'm paying, what I'm buying, it's a matter of public information. You're going to federal prison because you're also engaged in federal stalking. You're going to federal prison because you're group stalking with the state while the specific environment is over your establishment. And the entity is by virtue of that group stalking. Everybody that's shopping there is group stalking. And so the malice of this criminal system is now serving to intensify the punishment that you will serve for purposes of group stalking an American citizen. All right? And that's just justice. That's just providence from the Lord on high. Okay, so it is currently 11:50 a.m. and the light source remains over me here at Alvarado Gardens. Smart Janitorial, speaker companies, the people of the state engaging in workplace terrorism, harassment, and sexual violence. This is P.O.C. And you already know what UPS is doing. They're witnessing their own demise. They showed their demon possession. That's the same African American. He knows I was speaking about him yesterday, and he's going straight to federal prison. That's impunity while he arrives to engage in P.O.C. Pay attention to how the demon drives off the moment that I open the door. They're just sitting there. These are psychopaths that are obsessed with every syllable that I utter. For purposes of not only witnessing their exposure, Satan is fascinated with it, okay? But not only that, they're monitoring. He's waiting. That's lying in wait conduct. That's speaking to the mind state. That's very deranged, okay? And then driving off, which is crossing a path. Okay, this is the entity that's engaging in group stalking at the UPS stores. Like I showed you, there's no son that's going to be over the UPS store. The same pattern of conduct documented at the UPS store. The same demonic behavior of engineer light moving all across the walls. Those employees are going to federal prison. And UPS is also using its vehicles, like I stated, their commercial airline planes and their establishments to engage in state terrorism with the state that you see uses helicopters in the state of California. UPS is not different, coming onto the grounds to engage in what are very serious federal crimes with those that live here. And everybody that lives here is going to federal prison. And so is that driver of that UPS vehicle. This is the light source. It is currently 11:52 a.m. This is P.O.C.